Hi, my name is Henry Prey, and I would like to discuss some of the similarities and some interesting thoughts about the themes that really connect the two books that are Life in the Iron Mills and At the Station. So, other than your more obvious things such as both books are going to take place in the late 1800s, though they are a few decades off from each other. You also have the fact that the two books are about lower class characters, though Life in the Iron Mills is going to have some younger characters and more younger protagonists than At the Station. At the Station has a little more older characters and protagonists, and that's really what I wanted to kind of not exactly the age, but bringing age into the main theme of both of the stories, and really thinking about how religion is incorporated in both of these themes. So the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about would be the prominence of religion in both of the stories and how it pertains to what I find to be the main themes, and what really connects both of the stories. So obviously you have Miss Dilly, who is I would say your main protagonist for At the Station, and Miss Dilly is very involved with her religion, her spiritual life, and she reads the Bible. There's a quote in At the Station that Miss Dilly, Miss Dilly with her Bible and her incessant innocent talk of the good Lord was all the pope or preacher known to these people, the only messenger sent to show them how to live or to die. So really, to Miss Dilly, her religion is very important to her, just as in Life in the Iron Mills, they often talk about God and its relevance to their lives, and how they can, blame God, or some of them are defending God. Well, what I really found interesting was religion is used. So, with both aspects of the stories, you have Life in the Iron Mills with young characters who are in terrible conditions, and they're using religion as a way to find either hope or something to blame for these characteristics. Whereas I see in At the Station, especially at the beginning of the book, is really where I see this, and it just gets later exemplified throughout the story. You have these elderly people, just like Miss Dilly, who are watching the trains come into the station, stop, and drive on, and they're also contemplating certain things about the places they've been and the people they met. And what I really found interesting was that I thought that really pertains to how many people talk about the end of life, and how their life right now is like the train pulling into the station, and when the train stops at the station, that would be their death, and the train proceeding to move on to the next stop would be the afterlife. So they actually use God in a way to think about the afterlife, and in a way, using Miss Dilly's very religious aspect, it also brings up later on when Charlie and Miss Dilly are traveling. She says she did not know the name of a plant or tree or bird, but she felt the friendliness and welcome of the hills, just as she used to be comforted and lifted nearer to God by distant church music, although she could not hear a word of the hymn. Which I would really parallel that to the thought process that she would be comparing that to Miss Dilly's thought of, I say the author would be connecting that with Miss Dilly's thought and her character's thought of what the afterlife would entail. It sounds like something very connected, something bright sunny day where she's looking at everything and doesn't know the name of it, but it's beautiful, right? So furthermore, to connect that with life in the iron mills where you have these young people living in these terrible conditions, it's more of like that when you're young, you're putting in the work to get to where you want to be and do the things that you want to do with your life. So for furthermore with that, they're incorporating God with their struggles, right? So with the elderly, their struggles are, okay, I need to accept death, and that's where the appeal of God is really found. Whereas with these younger characters, it's more, okay, is this pain from God, or is God the one that is going to help me overcome this pain? So I really see this occur in a quote from Life in the Iron Mills when they say, "Their lives were like those of their class, incessant labor, sleeping in kennel-like rooms, eating rank pork and molasses, drinking, God and the distillers only know what. And what if God had put your brain with all its agony and touch into your fingers and bid you to work and strike with that?" So those were two different quotes, both really thinking about how God pertains to their own situations, which is, I think, really the big thing that connects these two books, is the characters and the protagonists finding how God and their religion pertains to their situation. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.